Hey there and welcome. Today, we're diving deep into the blueprint of India, our constitution. This is the rulebook that explains how the world's largest democracy actually works. Have you ever wondered how a country of over 1.4 billion people just runs day after day? From the traffic on the roads to the debates happening in parliament, where do the rules that govern all of this come from? Well, the answer lies in one single, powerful document, the Constitution of India. On this journey, we're going to make 5 key stops. We'll start with the nation's core resolve, then we'll understand the rights and duties of citizens, get to know the 3 pillars of government, look at the relationship between the center and the states, and finally, discover why our Constitution is called a living document. So, let's get right into it.
Every great plan starts with a mission statement, right? A core idea. And our Constitution begins in exactly the same way, with something we call its preamble.
Now, pay close attention to that opening phrase, we, the people of India. It's not a king, not a parliament, not some external power, but the people of India who are giving this constitution to themselves. This single line is the bedrock of our democracy, establishing that the ultimate power rests in the hands of the people. All right, let's move on to our second stop and see what kind of relationship this incredible document builds between the country and its citizens. And it's very much a two-way street, a balance of rights and duties. First, let's talk about fundamental rights. These are the core rights that the Constitution guarantees to every single citizen. Think of them as a shield that protects us from the arbitrary power of the state, ensuring that every person can live a life of dignity. For example, the right to equality, which prevents discrimination based on religion or caste, the right to freedom of speech, the right to life, which also includes the right to education, and the freedom to practice one's own religion. These aren't just legal words, they are the very foundation of our daily lives. But like I said, it's a two-way street. While Article 19 gives us the freedom of speech, Article 51A reminds us that it's also our duty to abide by the Constitution. So you see, rights and duties are really two sides of the same coin of citizenship.
So the question now is, who runs this vast machinery of governance? The Constitution very cleverly divides power into 3 main branches, making sure no one part can become too powerful.
As you can see in this table, the power is split into 3 pillars. First, you have the legislature, that's our parliament, and its job is to make the laws. Second is the executive, which is the government, responsible for implementing those laws. And the third pillar is the judiciary, with the Supreme Court at the top, whose role is to uphold justice. All 3 keep a check on each other. India is a huge and incredibly diverse country. So how does the Constitution organize it all? The answer lies in its federal structure, the union and the states. This basically means we have a national government called the center or the union government, and then each state has its own government. The Constitution clearly defines who has power over what. Some matters, like defense and foreign affairs, are handled by the center, while others, like policing and agriculture, are managed by the states.
And this system doesn't just stop at 2 levels. The Constitution takes governance right down to the grassroots level through panchayats and municipalities. It's a 3-tier system of governance that distributes power from New Delhi all the way to the smallest village in India.
And now we come to our final and, I think, most fascinating section. Our Constitution isn't some ancient text carved in stone and left behind in 1950. It's a living, breathing document.
You see, the framers of our Constitution understood that the needs of society would change in the future. So they built a process for making changes or amendments right into the Constitution itself. This ensures that it can always remain relevant with the times.
You can find direct proof of this right in the text of the Constitution. For example, Article 242, which dealt with the state of Coorg. Right next to it, it now says, repealed. This happened because Coorg later became a part of the state of Karnataka, and the article was no longer needed. It's a fantastic example of the Constitution's ability to adapt to changing circumstances.
And this hasn't happened just once or twice. As the source material indicates with its mention of the 106th Amendment, our Constitution has been amended over 100 times. That number alone is the greatest testament to its vitality.
So, this flexibility is truly our Constitution's greatest strength. It acts as a bridge, connecting our nation's founding principles to its modern future. It makes it so much more than a historical document, it's a guide for our present.
So we'll end our journey with this question. Why is the Constitution still so important to us today?
Because it's not just a book. It gives us our rights, it provides a framework for our government, and most importantly, it evolves right along with us. It's the symbol of the promise that we, the people of India, made to ourselves. Thanks for tuning in.